Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Amanda Lamb. In today's deep dive conversation with Five on Your Side producer Pritchard Strong, we're going to talk about the Pink Energy Company, a solar energy company based in North Carolina that's had a bit of controversy. So, Pritchard, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
First of all, tell me about this company. Where are they located? How did they start? And what services do they offer to customers?
So this company is out of the Charlotte area, a little bit north in a city called Morrisville. They started in 2014, and they were originally known as Power Home Solar. That's how many people are gonna know them. Pink is a name that they switched to earlier in 2022. So they grew from about 30 employees up to about 2,100, and a lot of that growth has been recent. They've really upped their capacity and their staffing in the last couple of years. They do residential solar operations, so the panels that you see on people's roofs, or if they've got them set out in their yard to help supplement their energy bills. And they operate in about 15 states. They've been fairly successful, some sales awards that they post on their site, top solar contractors, things like that. So they've been around and kind of spread out across the country.
So you started looking into this because some customers came forward with concerns. Tell me what they told you about what was going on in terms of their relationship with Pink Energy.
Yeah, the first complaint we got was over the summer in June. We had somebody reach out to us and basically say that their system wasn't working. They weren't getting power. They weren't real clear why, and they really couldn't get any answers from Pink Energy. Get anybody out there to get it fixed. And they were just really struggling because these are expensive systems. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars. We had conversations with that person. Their communication kind of dropped off, so we didn't really have anywhere to go with the story at that point. But as time went on, we were getting more and more emails about Pink Energy, and really they were the same complaints. These were newer systems that weren't working. They weren't generating power for the customers, and people were having a really hard time getting them fixed.
What kind of money are we talking about? I mean, how much do people pay for these systems that were not only not working, they weren't saving any money on their energy bill?
So it varies, and it depends on how much you buy into it. You can get just the solar panels that will generate energy. You can sell some of that power back to the Duke Energy or the grid if it goes over. But to get battery backup systems in case of a power outage, to store your own energy, those are more expensive. We've spoken to people who have $35,000 systems. We've gotten complaints from people who have $70,000 systems. So we're talking, really expensive car level money that needs to be financed.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of money for anyone to put out. So you have these allegations, you have these concerns, and you reach out to the company, and I understand they blamed a third-party vendor. Tell me what they said.
They said that this was an issue with a part made by Generac. Generac makes backup power generators, batteries, components, things like that. But Pink started using Generac components in 2020. They said that one of the parts, called a snap RS, which regulates the flow of electricity and voltage and things like that, was malfunctioning and basically burning up. So they said that was keeping a lot of these systems from working properly. As complaints mounted, Pink said they were getting 30,000 complaints a month. The Pink CEO, Jason Waller, kind of put on an offensive against Generac, going public, posting videos, doing media tours. They also filed a lawsuit against Generac, alleging that the part was defective, calling for a recall, and saying that they had lost somewhere in the neighborhood of $155 million in sales.
So, big development in this story. After your reports aired, you find out the company is shutting down its operations in North Carolina. So now you have a lot of people out of work, and you have these customers in limbo. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so first I should say about Generac, for their part, they are blaming Pink Energy for some of these issues, saying that Pink installers are the ones who did not install the part correctly, leading to some of these issues.
So they're both pointing the fingers at each other.
Exactly,
okay.
Yep. Now, as far as the layoffs, within hours of our report on on Pink Energy, Pink sent an email to employees saying that they were closing their doors completely and immediately. We know that they had been laying off people in previous weeks. About half of their workforce they had already announced were being laid off, but this really laid everybody off, 2,100 people. And we later learned that a lot of those layoffs, those people were not given the required 60-day notice that is required to be given for those types of layoffs. And Pink said that it was unforeseeable business circumstances that led to that. So this was really a surprise to a lot of employees.
And we're just talking about North Carolina right now. In other words, they're still operating in other places, but they shut down in North Carolina.
This is everywhere now.
Oh, so now they've shut down the whole country. Okay.
This is everywhere now, yeah. We were getting the warn notices initially about layoffs in North Carolina. Again, not with a 60-day notice, but yes, they are closed everywhere now.
So what about the customers who are left holding the bag? I mean, what do they have options?
It's a tough situation because what they need to do, or what they were being directed to do, was go to Generac for a warranty replacement on this part to get their systems working. This is what Pink had been doing even before they shut down. They were warrantying their labor for the installation of the systems, but they were telling customers that to get this Generac part replaced, they had to go to the manufacturer, and they were kind of washing their hands of it. So that is still where customers need to go, but they're left in a more difficult situation because Pink is now not around to fulfill any other kind of labor or warranty claims.
Okay, we'll be right back after the break with more from WRAL's Pritchard Strong about what the Attorney General and NC State did in response to Pink Energy shutting down. Welcome back to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm talking with producer Pritchard Strong about the now defunct solar energy company, Pink Energy. So, Pritchard, shortly after the company announced it was halting operations, our Attorney General, Josh Stein, he opened an investigation. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so they had been getting complaints for a while now. In June, when we got our first complaint, we did reach out to the Attorney General. They had about 66 complaints. In September, when we started following and getting more complaints, they were up to 133, and that number is now higher. By the end of September, the Attorney General announced that they were launching a formal investigation into Pink, and that is a more in-depth look at this company, their business practices, and any other relevant information that may be out there.
And our Attorney General is not the only one that ordered an investigation, correct? Isn't there at least one other I saw in one of your reports in Ohio?
Yeah, the Ohio Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against Pink Energy, and they're asking for some relief for customers. There are multiple attorney generals in other states looking into this issue as well. Like we mentioned, this company operated in 15 states, and they had been getting thousands of complaints. So there are a lot of eyes on this situation.
So this wasn't the only fallout. They had been a sponsor for the Wolfpack sporting events at NC State. Tell me about what happened to this relationship.
They were. They had a few sports sponsorships, and NC State was one of the big ones. And Pink billboards would show up at Wolfpack sporting events, including at football games. We had a WRAL employee recently spot one of those advertisements at Carter Finley Stadium during one of the games, even after Pink had closed. So we checked in with NC State on that and asked why those billboards were still up. A spokesperson got back to me and said that they were in the process of terminating the agreement and that the ads would not be showing up at any other venue or at any other NC State athletic event or content.
So a lot of fallout from this. So what happens next? I mean, it seems like a lot of people are holding the bag here. If I had a $39,000 to $70,000, solar panel package on my house, I think I'd be pretty upset right now. Any chance these people are going to get their money back?
That's tough to say at this point. And it's made all the more difficult by the fact that they're paying loans on these really expensive systems. They were promised big energy discounts on their utility bill, and they're not getting that. So they've got a full utility bill and now also a loan that they're having to pay down. So we've heard people ask us, should we stop paying our loan? And we can't advise on that, but it's worth it to talk to the loan company to see if they can help you out and do anything like that. But going to Generac is going to be one of the biggest things because, to get your system back online and get it working again is a priority for these folks, because at least then maybe they could see the benefits of that solar energy system working. And we've got some information about how to contact Generac on WRAL.com under 5 on your side. I would also tell people to file a complaint with the North Carolina Attorney General because they are looking into this. They do have that formal investigation going, so certainly worth filing a complaint with them. Pink has also filed for bankruptcy. So that may be another avenue for people to contact an attorney, look into filing a claim. But Pink does have a lot of debtors and a lot of money owed. $80 million to a bank, I believe, $17 million to Generac, although that claim is disputed. So, it's not guaranteed that anything will come out of bankruptcy court, but that is a possibility.
So solar power is still a very small part of the energy industry. And, I think I've been hearing about solar power since I was a little girl. It obviously hasn't taken off the way a lot of people hoped it would. Does a situation like this hurt the industry in general, because people then say, oh, I can't trust that. It doesn't work. So I'm not going to invest in that.
Yeah, that's looking at that certainly doesn't help. It is a growing industry. They have been seeing an uptick in sales. I don't have specific figures, but something like this does kind of put a little cloud over the industry. I think it does hurt it a little bit, but there are benefits to solar. If you have a system that is functioning properly, you can bank energy. You can, get energy independence, as they kind of advertise it, and, reduce your energy bills. Once you pay off a system, you could potentially be generating your own energy. It is still something that, could be worth it to a homeowner. It's just really doing your homework, making sure that you're getting involved with a reputable company, one that is going to offer you support and make sure that your system is working the way that it needs to. And
I'm sure there are reputable companies in North Carolina and across the country who are doing this the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. There certainly are good home solar panel companies, and I don't have specific recommendations, but it's checking BBB complaints, even reaching out to the Attorney General to see if there are complaints filed, looking for certifications, any kind of accreditations that they have for installation, or solar groups that they have signed on with that have their backing. So just things like that, and kind of doing homework before investing that large amount of money, and really taking a close look at the contract too, because when it says you're going to save 90% on your energy bill, you want to make sure that there's no fine print in there, or if there is, that you understand whether that's a guarantee, something that you can hold them to, or is it just kind of a guesstimate, and if it doesn't quite get to that amount of savings, do you have any recourse or not?
All good advice. Thank you so much, Pritchard. I'm sure you and your team are going to continue to follow this issue with Pink Energy. And thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. You can also listen to entire WRAL newscasts in podcast form. Find WRAL News Daily in your podcast app. The feed is updated with new newscasts multiple times per day.